All right, welcome to the Franchise Time Machine. I've decided how I'm going to adjust this experiment for today, for tonight. So earlier today, we did this experiment where I wanted to try to figure out which version of Barry Bonds we should be using for our various historic sims when um, we're trying to bring in. Okay, this is weird. There's this Twitch Turbo ad that's not letting me adjust stuff on my Twitch stream. That was really weird. All right, so let me switch this real quick. How do I do this? Oh, here we go. All right. Okay, sorry. I'm still figuring out Twitch. I'm still not good at Twitch. Okay, so I do have the new topic up. So here's what we're going to do differently tonight from this afternoon. Oh, good timing. Here's the raid from Ezra Denny. Ezra, thank you for the raid. Welcome in, Raiders. Max, thank you for the subscription and the ongoing support. 8 months now from Max LP80. Um, I do miss the good old days when Max used to stream after me, even later than my stream. Would I like to predict any other Hollywood casting? Oh, that's a good one. I don't know. That one was so topical, and it's actually one that I've thought about a lot because I was a fan of the Police Squad TV show video. I never saw them on TV. We had to find them. We actually found them at the library, and my friend and I were such big fans of the Naked Gun movies. When we found the videos at the library, we were like minds blown, and we watched those so much. Um, but those movies came out was probably 30 years now ago. Police Squad was better than Naked Gun. I'm sure there are a lot of people that think that, don't you think? You think that's a hot take? Um, but it was fun seeing those TV shows like done on a movie scale with a movie budget. That was pretty awesome. Um, so yeah, so because it's been so long and because like we used to watch the movies too. We used to watch the movies a lot too. Um, it's actually something I've actually thought about a lot. So when you're saying like I thought you were saying a hypothetical remake. And so that's why I said, "Oh yeah, I've thought about this, and I've always thought, and I mentioned Liam Neeson, and then like, no, 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 there's an actual trailer." I was like, "What? That's amazing." So this is what happens. I now consume most of my uh, TV via streaming, and so I don't see many commercials. I mostly see ads on Twitch. um, so yeah, if it's not in a Twitch ad, I don't know that I'm gonna see it. So that was pretty awesome. A different friend of mine and I always talk about how it's actually really nice when you find out that like your favorite band has a new album coming out or your favorite movie series has a new movie coming out and you somehow miss the build up because then you don't have to wait, it's just suddenly there. So this is a movie that I don't know if I haven't seen a movie in a theater in a long time, at least not one that wasn't a kids movie. So I probably won't see it till it comes to streaming, but I am excited about it. As always, something entertaining and informative in Ezra Denny's seventh inning stretch. All right, so here's what we're going to do tonight. This afternoon, I did an experiment that I was actually pretty pleased with. Um, the results weren't definitive, so that part was a little disappointing, but it was super fun. Um, anytime I do one of these rosters for a simulation, or I'm building this new game right now that's like era based, and I'm looking for like the peak version of players. Barry Bonds is one. Willie Mays is like this too, where it's hard because they have so many good peak seasons. And I was watching Dr. Dynastic doing his franchise feud, and I was like, if only there was some way I could like play these Barry Bonds against each other. And I realized like we do this all the time. I just never thought to do it with a historic player. We have the completely average league where every player is completely average and identical. Well, let's just add a different Barry Bonds to each team and see what happens. We can look at the wins, but we've also learned over time that wins have too much other sources of variability. The pitchers, the starting pitchers, the relief pitchers, the fielding, so much stuff that's not attached to the version of Barry Bonds. So we also looked at runs scored, and then we looked at individual performances by the players, like which Barry Bonds would have the best OPS or WAR. And the thing was, like, a different Barry Bonds won every one of those categories. So the 02 Bonds team won the championship. And I think they scored the most runs. But then a different Bonds, I think the 03 had the highest WAR. And then yet a different Bonds had the highest OPS. But interesting, none of them was the 04 Bonds. Usually it seems like we're down to the 01 or 04 Bonds. But it was 01, 02, and 03. But also, the team that played the 02 Bonds team in the World Series, the 92 Bonds team, and it went to Game 7. It was... oh, wait, and the 92... Did the 92 Bonds team win? I think they did. So the 92 Bonds team won the World Series, crazily enough. They finished second in the standings, went to the World Series against the 02 Bonds team, and I think they... Did they win the World Series? I think they did. Yeah, because they went up 6-0 in the last game. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the 92 Bonds team won. So yeah, if you went by the world champion, it was yet a different Bonds. So then what I was thinking was, okay, well, how can we reduce the amount of non-Bonds RNG? And I think the way to do that is let's import multiple copies of each Bonds onto each team. So the 02 Bonds team, let's give them at least 2 Barry Bonds. One can play left field, one can play DH. We'll make if we make them also right field eligible, we can have 3 Barry Bonds on each team. Is Jose Lima... I just missed that, Max. I just noticed that. You asked if Jose Lima is in this experiment. So Max is referring to... I did a test of what would happen if we had an entire team of Barry Bonds. And it was all... And again, I can't remember if we used 01 or 04 Barry Bonds. But we gave Barry Bonds ability to play every position. I had to make some Barry Bonds throw right-handed so he could play the infield. Because I don't know if you know this, but OOTP will not yet let you play the left side of the infield if you throw left-handed. And then I was like, okay, well, who should pitch against this team? And of course the answer was 2000 Jose Lima, who is one of the worst home run surrendering pitchers ever. And I think what we did is we just had them play 2 identical teams. A team of Bondses in the lineup and a team of... Jose Lima's in the pitching staff. And I think we just did clones and had the 2 teams play each other 162 times. And the craziest thing that happened in that sim is the Jose Limas shut out the Barry Bonds in one game. Most of the games were like 35-30 or like, these football scores. One game was like a 3-0 shutout win where 3 Jose Limas combined to shut out an entire lineup of Barry Bondses. So anyway, I think I want to repeat today's experiment, but instead, let's do 3 Barry Bonds on each team. We'll give each Barry Bonds the ability to play right field in addition to left field. The triumph of the Lime. Not Limas, but Lime. I like that. The plural of Lima is Lime. Amazing. So yeah, I think we'll do that. And then maybe by like tripling up that way, maybe we'll get slightly more definitive answers. Because I would like for this format to work because I have other players, so I have the same question. Willie Mays, Ted Williams, um, even to some extent like Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig, where I think their peak seasons are a little more clear. But they do play in this in between era time where it's sometimes hard to tell how much of each season is due to them versus the era. And then I was thinking it'd also be fun to do, if this format ends up working, let's do one with like all time center fielders where we have like once we figure out which is the peak Mays, peak Mantle, peak Duke Snyder, like just get all the great center fielders into this kind of format too. So I thought it'd be a fun way to just kind of like you know, try to settle the bar bet of who's the best center fielder of all time. Well, let's start with which is the best version of Barry Bonds, because from this afternoon it's still a bit of a mixed bag. So let's as usual, let's start with the pack giveaway form. I think it makes sense to just copy the one from this afternoon. I think with some minor adjustments, we can just use that. So I'm going to make a copy, and then I'll just update the title, and then I'll put it into the stream here. But I thought this was a really fun use of the completely average league that we have that I hadn't really thought about before. We've always only adjusted or boosted or nerfed the players in the league. It was super fun bringing a real player into that league. All right, so here's the form. Let's see. All right, other than the title, everything's still the same for this afternoon. So in tonight's stream, we will follow up on the experiment we conducted earlier today. We attempted to determine which version of Barry Bonds is the best by adding 8 different versions to our experimental sandbox to complete average league. Right? In this league, all players are identical and Major League average, so the only difference between which version of Bonds you get. Yeah. This league is usually set up into 2 sub-leagues, average league and neutral league, into 2 4-team sub-leagues. But for this sim, all 8 teams will play in 1 league/division. Okay, to allow each Barry to play to its full potential, modifiers will be turned off. So there will be era-based modifiers to make it feel like 24, but the totals-based modifiers will be turned off. Reminder: all batters and pitchers in this league are right-handed. I forgot to mention this afternoon, and it's actually a big deal because Barry Bonds is just like feasting on these right-handed pitchers. The Barry Bondses will be the only left-handed batters in the league and will face nothing but right-handed pitching. Okay. That will probably be important when you guess your numerical answers. So let me look at the results from this afternoon. The difference tonight. Let me put this in bold. I'll bold that in a second. Each team will receive 3 clones of the same Barry Bonds. In addition, each Bonds will be given right field eligibility in addition to left field and DH. Why is it not letting me bold this? What is going on? Let me bold this. Google Docs or Google Forms. There you go. I will clarify though, but for the numerical questions below, guesses should be for individual bonds, and not all three on a team. Okay. Closest answer wins. We're not using Price is Right rules. You can be over and still be correct. It is a 162 game season in 2024. Our usual settings: no injuries, suspensions, no personality, no chemistry, etc. The modifiers for 2024 are on but locked, and AutoCalc is off, so there will be no changes to the modifiers after we bring in all these power hitting and walking bonzes. All AI teams will be running sabermetric strategy, and we ask for new lineups after getting their Barry bonzes, because now they're getting 3 each. Okay, I think I'm going to give a little bit of info here for the people who didn't get to see the stream. Okay, from this afternoon. Regular season champion. (2002) Bonds with 97 wins. World Series champion. 1992 Bonds. 88 wins. 1 World Series in 7 games. Most runs scored. That was 836. I should say this is team. I named the teams after the player. Team 2 Bonds. Team 1992 Bonds. Highest OPS. .49. '01 Bonds. Highest WAR. 13. I thought we had a 14.8. What happened to that one? I mean, a 14.1. Why did I think we had a 14.1? All right, it's 13.8 apparently. Right, so you can see from this, if you went by the regular season most wins, 02 Bonds is the best. If you go by OPS, it's the 01 Bonds. Now, this OPS is different from comparing OPSs in Baseball Reference, because those OPSs are in different seasons and different run environments against different pitchers. These are all in the same run environment against all average pitchers. So these OPSs should be comparable. And the 01 bonds came in with the highest OPS. But the 03 bonds had the highest WAR. So depending on if you go wins or runs scored, 02 bonds, or OPS, 01 bonds, or WAR, 03 bonds, we still don't really have a clear answer. And if you go by the World Championship, which again is a small, super small sample size on top of a relatively small sample size, you get the 92 bonds. So I just give that to you as A, an illustration of how tricky this is, and B, to give you some idea of what the numbers might look like. But we're going to have 3 on each team, so that might change things up. All right, so which team will win the most regular season games? Which team will score the most regular season runs? Which team will win the fewest regular season games? Which team will score the fewest regular season runs? Which team will win the World Series? And the World Series is played between the first and second place regular season teams. They're all in one big division. There's a division champion, and then the runner-up is considered the wild card, and they play in the World Series. Okay, then we get to the numericals. We did get to test the new tie-breaking method, which ended up being really good and really fun, which is all the numericals, who gets the most right? That person wins the tiebreaker, because these are all in like arbitrary order. How many regular season wins by the regular season champion? How many regular season home runs hit by the league leader in home runs? Again, this is one player, right? These are all one player. How many walks by the league leader in walks? How many RBI? And the reminder here is all of the Bonds' teammates are completely average. Now, this time they'll have 2 other Bonds on the team, which should boost the RBI totals a little bit. But there might not be as many players on base as there might be, considering everyone's just league average. Regular season batting average of the league leader in batting average, the regular season OPS, the league leader in OPS, and the regular season WAR of the league leader in WAR. All of those will be part of who gets the most of those right, and that will be the winner. So I might as well put this up. Here's what the league leaderboards look like while I publish this form. Link to form for tonight's 10-pack giveaway. Okay, let's pin that to the chat. Good luck, everybody. And let's start resetting this league. Now, the one time I didn't do a quick start of the setup league is the time we could have used it the most. But the good thing is I already have the notepad form. All right, this is the list we'll be using. But you know what? Let's triple this, right? Because we're going to bring 3 of them into the league. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this and paste it 2 more times. There we go. That's tripled. And now we'll save as Best Bonds version 2. Okay, so that's ready for importing now. Oh, it says no. Oh, please, Max, don't be in the chat. I thought I opened it. It is open. Oh, wait. It is open. Oh, you know what? I didn't give you responder access. The form is open, but you don't have responder access. You should be able to access it now. Flying W also saved the day today in the afternoon stream. All right, so the form should be open. Let me know if you have any problems with it now. But yeah, this is now the file. It's the same list but 3 times over. So let's go back to the home screen. I have been knocked out of Iron Cap today. So we're in a new game. This is cool. We have a new quick start now, which is the Average League 8, which is the 8-team division. 1 18 division version 3. All right, so I'm not going to take over any of these leagues to start with. We'll be in commissioner mode. Cannot be fired. Now, I do technically have to be running one of these teams to get to the free agency screen. Oh, let's also rename the teams right now. All right, so the teams are 19. Oops, where am I typing? I'm typing somewhere. I can't see where, but it's not in my game screen. 1990. 1991. 1992. 2001. Oops. All right. I do think we have a schedule already, but let me make sure. If we go to July, there should not be an all-star break. Well, that's interesting. They still scheduled a break, but there's no all-star game. That's really interesting, huh? But yeah, it looks like we have a schedule. Let's go and import those players. That happens through, you go to your manager screen, you go to GM and manager actions, sign a free agent. If you're in commissioner mode, you have this actions pull down. Sometimes we create fictional players, like we play Create a Roster. Tonight we'll be importing historical players from the historical database. Now up here is where you can enter players one at a time. But we're going to enter a file today. Now, one thing to note is usually, this may look different from what you've normally seen on the stream. Usually we put a final comma and a destination because we want them to go to a specific team. These players have to go to 8 different teams, so we're just going to bring them into the free agency pool, rename them in there, and then we'll assign them to the various teams. So let's select the file. It's Best Bonds 2. Now, current ratings based on real stats. That's what we want. Hold on a sec. I gotta adjust something here real quick. Off stream. Okay. Yeah. So that's what's missing from what you normally see. Is that the comma destination. Real stats peak season. This is imported season, and we don't have to nerf any small sample size seasons because all these seasons have plenty of plate appearances in them. So we should be bringing in 24 players. We did. Okay, now let's sort them by age. And what I'm doing is I'm going to rename them by what year they are. You have to hit enter after each one. And then we'll assign each one to their team as we go. Okay, that's the 04. We'll arrow down to the next player. This is another 04 bonds. Then we'll arrow down to the next one. Should be the third and last 04. Oh, you know what else we have to do? I forgot to. Let's arrow back up to the first one. We're also going to give them right field fielding ability. So that just means we're going to give them right field 200. So they have left field 200 or right field 200. Their fielding attributes are staying the same. We're just giving them equal experience in left and right field. We're not making them any better. We're just saying, okay, you can play left field as with the same attributes that you can play right field. We're not going to penalize you if you start playing right field. This just lets all three bonds take the field at the same time. Okay, so this is the so let's just do this for this bonds. We know we have to do this. Then we'll go over here to bio. This is a 2003 bonds. Okay, hit enter. Okay, now we'll arrow down, and we'll just go in the reverse order. This one's going to 2003. This is a 2003 bonds. And he needs right field. And then we'll arrow down. This is another 2003. Okay. This is a 2002 now. Arrow down. (2002) again. Right field ability. Yeah, we arrow down. This one gets right field ability. This is the 2001. This is the last of the big bonds era. The next we have the skinny bonds era coming up. Okay, another 01 bonds. think that's it. Let's see. Yeah, now we're at the 93 bonds. $19.93. This is $19.92. $19.92 again. Okay, give him right field. Almost done. I think 6 more to go after this one. $19.91. You know, in hindsight, I wonder if we should have renamed them 1991 A, B, and C because we're not going to know which 1991 bonds is doing what. But I think I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna add that in. Uh, I think it might end up being helpful. Okay, and this should be the 1990 bonds. It is. Now, this is interesting. The 1991 says he's 6'1", 230 pounds. There's no way. T. Davis, I am. I'm going to make you root for Bonds twice in one day. Yes, that's right. This time it's worse though. There are going to be 3 Bondses on each team that are clones of each other. You're going to have to root for 3 Bondses on each team. I thought I could increase the separation between the teams by doing 3 versions of the same bonds. So what, I don't know what happens in the locker room though. Do they each get 3 recliners that sit by themselves? Then there's no room for anyone else in the locker room. If each one has to be, a certain separation from everybody else, I don't think you can fit 3 Bondses in a locker room. Okay, I think we got them all. So first, let's see what that looks like. Oh wait, I've assigned them all to different teams. Not the skinny ones. All right, so if I go to each team, all right, there are 3 Bonzes. Yeah, let's do this. I should have done this in the beginning. We're going to shortlist every... I'm going to shortlist every Bonds. If you haven't used shortlist before, they're very helpful. Because what you can do is you add all these different bonds. I should have done this from the beginning when they're all in one place. But what's going to happen is it's going to create a new place where they'll all be together. And we can do stuff with them or view them all at once. It's very helpful. Oh, this was missing a 2003 as well. So now we can just go to here, go to shortlist. And see, now all the bonds are here. Okay, so now we can go in here. And for each one, I'm just going to add an A, B, or C. Scarola, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. We are working on an experiment here. It's a continuation or a hopefully an improvement on one we did this afternoon. And I'll explain it to you in a second. I'm going to finish making these edits first, but I hope you had a good stream. Appreciate you bringing your folks here. You saw what we were up to earlier? Okay, good. I'll give you the scoop on what we're changing tonight based on what we did this afternoon. Okay, I think this is the last edit, and then we should be good to go. Yep, all right. So what we did this afternoon, and let me put the slide back up, is this is a thing that comes up every once in a while when we're working on like a historic sim, and we want to bring in like the best peak seasons of certain batters or pitchers. And no, they were not supposed to be a center fielder. Were they a center fielder? That's interesting. They don't have a center field rating. Oh, we haven't gone back and reassigned the rosters yet. So we'll or the lineup. So we'll do that in a second. But you're right. He's a 0 rating center fielder right now. Thanks for catching that. Flying W, thank you for that. But for the benefit of Skyrola and the Raiders, there's also a pack giveaway form pinned to the chat. If you want to participate, you can win 7 packs for first place, 3 packs for second place. But every time we run into this, there's always this really fun debate over which version of Barry Bonds is the best one that we should be using for a particular sim. It also happens with Willie Mays. There are a bunch of players this happens with who have, multiple great seasons, multiple MVP seasons. Um, but Bonds in particular, there's so many good seasons to pick from. And I realized, well, we can just do it like we do any other experiment in our completely average league, where every player is major league average and identical. So now each team, this afternoon when we did it, each team, the only difference between every team was they got one version of Barry Bonds. And um, we we tracked it to see, what's going to be the metric we use to determine which is best. Is it the number of wins? Is it whoever wins the World Series? Is it the version of Bonds with the highest OPS? Is it the one with the highest WAR? In the end, every one of those answers was a different version of Barry Bonds this afternoon. So to try to make it converge on one or another, this time we're bringing in three clones of each version of Barry Bonds. So the Team 2004 Barry Bonds is going to get three copies of 2004 Barry Bonds. And each one is also getting, in addition to left field, they're able to play right field. And, of course, they can play DH. So all three 04 Bonds can play at the same time. Same thing for 03 Bonds. That team gets three versions of the 2003 Barry Bonds, and so on. So it's the same as this afternoon, but each team gets three versions of that particular Bonds that they're named after. So we just got done making the clones and assigning them to teams. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to each lineup and we're going to say, okay, give me your lineup. Every coach is running sabermetric, and so they should make very similar decisions. Okay, so there's the Bonds in right leading off, there's the Bonds in left batting third, and the Bonds hitting cleanup at DH. Scala says there's something slightly titillating about involving clones of Barry Bonds. I just like anytime we clone players because you're immediately going off the rails of reality. So much muscle. I was just talking, I think it was right before you rated in. How do we find enough room in the locker room if each one wants to sit in a special chair in the middle of the locker room by themselves? But if you have three people wanting that, how do you do that? All right, so this lineup is set. Let's go to the 91 Bonds, and we'll ask them to set their lineup. Oh, it looks like they've already done it. Yep, right DH. Oh, no. Why is this one playing center field? That is not correct. He has no center field ability. That is really strange. Let's see if we clear the lineups first and then do it. It is still trying to assign that one to center field. Oh, I wonder. No. From a past experiment? No, because this was from the quick start. All right, let me assign myself to this team. That's really strange. All right, I wonder if I act. Does that change anything if I act as the manager? Nope. Okay, I want to make this one play left field. And now let's see. Wow, it keeps trying to move it to center field. That's really odd. He's a 0 in center field. Yeah, he's a 0 in center field, and yet he's trying to play him in center field. That's really weird. There's no coaching, so they don't have a manager. Why does it keep trying to move him to center field? That's really weird. Also, they only have 4 infielders. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I don't think this is exactly why, but um we need to make room. It kept 3 outfielders, so we need to move 3 outfielders. All right, we need to move 3 outfielders to make room. And then move the 3 infielders back. All right, maybe now. Well, this is a 90 team. This team was fine, so let's see if it's still fine. Okay, that's fine. Now let's go to the 91 team. And we'll take 3 outfielders off of here. All right, let's see if that helps. It is still trying to put Barry Bonds in center field. What is going on here? The other's in right, the other's a DH. Why is it not putting him in left field? All right, I'm just going to force his position into left field. All right, now let's see if that helps. Nope. So what we have to do here is I need to go into the game strategy and force him into left field. Now it is still trying to play a different Bonds at center field. Why is this one team doing this? Hold on. Let's look at the other teams and let's see if it happens again. Does not happen here. Does not happen here. Does not happen here. Does not happen here. Oh, wait, we forgot to make the adjustments, though, for these other teams. We don't have enough infielders. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That worked fine. That worked fine. That one worked out fine. There's no Bonds playing center field there. Okay, so the one issue is this 1991 team. For some reason, I'm worried if I lock these players into positions, it's going to limit their flexibility and then limit their ability to play. Let's take this off if we can. So this would work, but the problem is if I ask for lineups again, it keeps trying to put one in center field. Why does it do that? That's maddening. Can I prevent a position from being played? I wish I could put not center field. Okay, but what is it about this team that keeps trying to put a zero center fielder in center field? It's got another center fielder there. Barry Bonds does what Barry Bonds wants to do. Oh, you went on the semifinal run in Friday Night Live. That's awesome. Congratulations, Scarola. Why is it doing this? This is so strange. Okay, I'm gonna have to make. I mean, the '91 team was not super relevant in the first sim, so that's the only reason I feel okay doing this. I'm gonna force one to play left field. I'm gonna force one to play right field. And I'm gonna force one to play DH. I just want to see lineups. Okay, now if we do this, it still put one in center field. How did it even do that? It ignored what I said. Is it because I'm managing? What if I don't manage them at all? And now if I do it. That's so weird. I didn't have this problem with any other teams. Yeah, T Divs it will be if any other teams do it, but this one's doing it right off the jump, so I don't know what's going on here. So now these match the assignment. So let's see if that helps. Ah. Okay, I'm not in any of the jobs, so I'm not managing this team. It says this Bonds has to play DH, but for some reason it's not obeying. Do I need to let me assign myself to the team again. What if we lock to team? No, I don't think I want to do that. Let's just test it here. If we do this, if we do this for all of them, does that then change anything? No. Does not. Okay, I'm going to leave it as is. I don't know what else to do. I'm going to put it back to what positions it should be. It's the best I can do. If it's gonna keep putting Bonds in center field, there's nothing I can do about it. This 91 Bonds does not have ratings in center field. There's nothing here that says it should be assigned to center field. But let's just align these. So C is DH. B is left field. Okay, so, and then I'll take myself out of this manager role. Okay, it's set up correctly right now. Make these center field. We'll ask you for depth charts. Okay, we'll see what happens. The 91 team is the only one that seems to be being difficult here. All right, let me see how we're coming on the pack giveaway form. All right, here's what we'll do. Now that we're done setting up the league, I'm going to let's roll 3 minutes of ads so that way we won't get interrupted by ads during the simulation. So let's do that. So this is your 3-minute warning for the pack giveaway form. So please fill it out, hit submit, and I'll put the BRB up in case we only get like a minute of ads, but I will be back in around 3 minutes, and we'll check the forms then. All right, good luck, everybody. All right, I think we're back from the ad roll. In either case, I am back. All right, if anyone else is about to hit submit on their pack giveaway form, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to close it here shortly. Hope y'all have fun plans for the weekend. We're finally starting to get some spring-like weather here in the Pacific Northwest, so we've got some kids' soccer games and softball practices, and I set up the batting net for the girls this weekend, and while they were out this afternoon, I decided to go out there and throw some pitches into it. It's the kind that's like it's got the opening with a secondary net in the middle, so you're supposed to hit into that. But it also comes with a strike zone that you can put on top of it. You can throw into it too. So I decided to do some throwing through probably about 50 pitches, maybe. So we'll see how my arm feels in the morning. I haven't thrown in like 2 years. So we'll see how that goes. At least I didn't tweak anything while I was doing it, but I have a feeling it's going to be a little sore. All right, no more guesses, no more submissions coming in. All right, I'm going to close the forum then. How many did we have this afternoon? We had 12 participants this afternoon. And we had T. Davis and Kynan first and second place. Tonight we've got... Well, I'll tell you after I close it. Let me close it first. All right, it is closed. We have 3 responses tonight. So pretty much only one of you is going to get unlucky and not win packs. All right, so here are the guesses. Most regular season games wins and most regular season runs are the same. Actually, it might not be the same people, but 2/3 think 2003, 1/3 thinks 2002. Same for runs. Fewest wins and runs is a 3-way tie between 91, 93, and 90. People are scared off with 92 winning the world championship this afternoon, I guess. No one's guessing 92 to finish last. Same proportions for the fewest runs. As far as the World Series winner, looks like 2003 and 2001. All right, so let's see what happens. Now that the forum is closed, we can go ahead and... First, let's save this. And let's save it as a quick start, too. Okay, I think we're good. Let's Let's sim to opening day so we can see the predictions. All right, if we go to MLB, reports and info, and preseason predictions. Now, this did not happen this afternoon, but it did end up playing out this way. It is predicting the 92 Bonds team to finish second. This is exactly what happened, except it was like, I think it was 92 versus 2002. They have 2002 finishing in sixth place. Interestingly, this thinks the 04 Bonds is going to finish as the top batter, but the next 04 Bonds doesn't show up till down here. But this has 02 Bonds finishing second, and then another 02 Bonds here, then another 02 Bonds here. I wonder how it's determining. You would think the 304 Bonds would perform more similarly. As of the yeah, I don't know how it's figuring that. That's really interesting. All right, well, let's roll it. Okay, 1 month in, the 03 Bonds team is 21-7, 4 games ahead of the 91 team. Now, it's a very small sample size so far, but it is interesting that the 90s teams are actually second, third, and fourth. And also, just as a reminder, the 03 team that's in first place, that is the team that had the highest WAR Barry Bonds this afternoon. Do another month. Okay, the 03 Bonds team is really solidifying its lead, 13 games ahead of the rest of the league, which is all kind of packed in together behind them. Yet, it's the 01 and 02 Bonds that are leading the league in home runs. And the 03 does have the two first and third in OPS, though. So that's interesting. Let's do the month of June. Okay, now the 2000s teams are coming on strong. 03, 04, and 02. Now, I say they're the top three, but really the only team that's separated is the 03 team. Everyone else is within a game of each other, 10 or 11 games back. So there's a little bit of like false precision here in saying that the 02, 04, 02, and 91 teams are separated at all. All right, let's finish the month of July. Still, the 03 team remains ahead. We're starting to maybe get a little bit of separation from the 2000 teams and this 91 team. But it does not look like we're going to get that underdog Cinderella story of one of the 90s teams finishing second here. I mean, we could have the 91 team make a charge at it, but we'll see what happens. Let's finish the month of August. Yeah, if anything, the 92 and 91 teams are now 6 games behind the 01 team. 04 and 01 are in an interesting battle for second place, but 03 looks like they're going to be in the playoffs for sure. The home run leaders are from the 01 and 04 teams. The RBI leaders are from 01, 02, and 03. The batting leaders, interestingly, are all from 03. Was O3 Bonds that did it have that high of a batting average? O3 Bonds hit 341. O2 Bonds hit 370. O4 Bonds hit 362. So the O3 Bonds is actually the lowest between those 3 seasons. But O3 Bonds is showing up here big time. All right, let's do another month. Oh no, we're already at September 1st. We're going to the regular season end here. All right, it's going to be O3 and O4 Bonds battling it out for the championship. But the O3 Bonds finishes 12 games. We have to play one more game. 13 games ahead of the O4 Bonds. What's interesting to me, though, is I mean, there's not enough a gap to say anyone else is in like a second tier, but the O3 Bonds did separate quite a bit from the others. But if you look at the O3 Bonds in BREF, it has the lowest WAR of this run from 01 to 04. It has the lowest OPS, the lowest slugging, the second lowest batting average. So by almost every metric of these 4 seasons, you would say it's the worst or the second worst. Yet it's crushing here. Now, I wonder, the 91 Bonds, did he end up playing center field? Wait a second, one of the Bonds isn't even playing. What? Why is one of the Bonds not playing? Oh, maybe it's just today. Is he just resting today? Okay, the left field Bonds only played 99 games. Or only started 99 games. What is happening here? And he hit 218. Things are very weird with this 91 team. Yeah, these 90-91 Bonds are really underperforming statistically. Stats are a lot different this sim than earlier. Yeah, I. Oh wait, you know what I forgot to do? I think. You know what I think I forgot to do? I think I forgot to turn off the. I did. I forgot to turn off the modifiers. Everyone's nerfed. Yeah, so we got to go back. We got to go back. We got to load the quick start. So I messed that up. So we're going to ignore this. We're going to load the Bonds 2. Because the quick start is usually used for simulations where we want the modifiers off. And I forgot to turn them on. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so it turns out that sim was done with the wrong settings. So we're going to restart it. The good thing is we saved it as a quick start, so everything's ready to go except that thing. So let's change that. Okay, now we're good. Let me change the mailbox settings. Okay, so yeah, Flying W, when you said the stats look different, that's what made me realize it. So thank you for pointing that out. The stats were very different. Yeah, it was playing out very weird, and you got to see the impact of the modifiers, right? If you don't turn off the modifiers, that's what happens. It still doesn't explain why that 191 Barry Bonds is not getting any playing time, though. All right, let's see if everything else is correct here. I mean, they're starting off in the right positions, at least on the 91 team. We'll see what happens. All right, let's go to the. So now the preseason predictions might look different. It's still now it says 03 and 04 Bonds. This 92 Bonds team, for some reason, it simmed well this afternoon. The AI thinks it's going to sim well. But again, this 03 team, I don't quite understand where it's coming from. Statistically, it does look inferior to the seasons around it. All right, let's go again. Let's do another month. All right, yeah, the batting averages look much more like what we expected from this afternoon. The home runs are up. Yeah. 91 Bonds crushing it right now. Triple crown position. 91 Bonds B, 433 average, 16 home runs, 41 RBI, leading the league in everything. And he's playing right field. And just like that, the 02, 03, and 01 teams have taken over. 04 is 10 games behind. '02 Bonds is 6 games ahead of '01 and '03. '92 still hanging out, trying to get that number 2 spot. And there's a bit of a drop off to '93, '04, '90, and '91. All right, the month of July. Whoa, 92 Bonds, the world champions from this afternoon, has jumped into the lead. Holy, unexpected. '03 Bonds is in second, '02 is in third. They're tied. What is it with this 92 team? I mean, of that skinny Bonds era, I would say 93 is better than 92, but this 92 team, 2 sims in a row. 92 Team of Destiny, yeah. All right, the month of August. They're in a dead heat with the '02 team, first and second, tied for first, actually. These are the same 2 teams from this afternoon, '02 and '92. Unbelievable. But yet, just like this afternoon, if you look at the individual totals, I don't think it's going to be either 92 or '02 Bonds. Oh, it is. '02 Bonds is leading in OPS. '03, though, is leading in WAR. The WARs are much lower than this afternoon, I'm noticing. Oh, because there are more Bonds in the league. Because there are more Bonds, the wins above the average replacement player is different because all these Bonds are probably lifting the average. All right, let's do a week at a time here to get to the end of the season. 92 has pulled 2 games ahead of 02. 4 games ahead of 02. Craziness. And 03 Bonds B, or 03 Bonds A, is almost hitting 400. Will he hit 400? There's only a week and a half left in the season. 400. He's hitting 400. Bench him now. Bench him now. 92 and 02 have clinched the top 2 playoff spots. Can 03 Bonds hit 400? No! He's got 1 day left. 398. 397. Oh. Well, unbelievably, we have a rematch of this afternoon's World Series. 92 and 02. All right, let's go to scores mode. I mean, these stats are pretty awesome, though. The top 3 batting bonds, 03 Bonds have the top 2 spots, 937, 397, and 378. But again, if you look at this season, the 03 Bonds, he had 341. The year before 370, the year after 362. Yet it's this 341 season that's got the top 2 batting averages almost hitting 400. That's so weird. The top OPSs are coming from 02 and 03. The top batter war is coming from the first and third are 03. So just like this afternoon, it's pointing to like 03 as a statistically superior season. But it definitely does not look like it if you look at OPS. Okay. I can't believe we're going to watch 02 and 92 play again. This is craziness. All right, 92 is the home team now because they were the division champions. It was reversed this afternoon. And 92 wins 12-7. The 2002 team had 1 Bonds hit a home run. The 92 team had all 3 Bonds hit a bomb, and Bonds B hit 2. 92 Bonds A hit a home run, 92 Bonds B hit 2, and 92 C hit 1. Holy cow. The top 3 performances of the day are by the 3 1992 Bondses. Wow. 92 Bonds. Let's look at 92 Bonds. This whole team, whole season. A 9 WAR, 311 average, 1080 OPS. It is the second highest OPS of this earlier era. This is last year in Pittsburgh. Unbelievable. All right, let's see what happens if we keep going. Game 2. 92 Bonds wins again. Are you kidding me? Holy cow. Bond C goes yard twice. 92C goes yard twice. Oh, sorry. We're still on BRAF. Thank you for flying to me. This is craziness. Okay, well, this did happen this afternoon. The home team did win every game except Game 7. So we have a travel day. We're at 2002 now, so let's see if that continues. Does the home team keep winning? Oh, it takes 13 innings, but the O2 Bonds team finally wins the game, taking game 3. Wow. Was there a home run in the bottom of the 13th? Yeah, 13th inning by average infielder 1, though, not by Barry Bonds. So average infielder 1 is the hero. Crazy. All right, game 4. '92 Bonds is on the verge of a championship again. Holy cow. I mean, part of it is you don't know what this 92 Bonds is doing relative to the league, right? The 92 run environment might have been very different. Might have been very different from these 2000s. So if there was like OPS plus, maybe the OPS plus of this 1080 is higher. Although I find it hard to imagine that it'd be higher than the OPS plus of the 1422 OPS of 2004. But I guess it's possible. I wonder also if you take out the intentional walks, what does that do to your stats? Does it really drop the OPSs? All right, let's see what happens though. I'm still shocked that 92 is doing it again. All right, 92 Bonds trying to close out 2002 Bonds. Oh, 2 in the bottom of the ninth to win it 8-7. 0-2 Bonds stays alive. Unbelievable. What happened in the bottom of the ninth? We don't have game log, do we? Oh, we do. Do we? Do we have game log? No, we have a box score. Okay. Uh, there was no 13th inning home run. Or no, sorry, ninth inning. Ninth inning. Ninth inning. Is there a ninth inning home run? No, there was a 7th inning home run, but not a ninth inning home run. So we don't know who drove in those runs. Oh, this reliever came in for 1 2/3, gave up 5 hits and 2 runs. Wow, 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth to keep it alive, forcing a game 6. That is clutch. I mean, should we watch highlights? I don't know. The 2002 average starter won this pitching today, so 14.73 postseason ERA. All right. Let's hide achievements. Let's have it save highlights. And game logs. And there's only these 2 games left, so it won't be too much storage space, file space. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Hide scores, quick play. This is an elimination game. Game 6, 92, trying to close out the 0-2 Bonds team. All right, 92 in the bottom of the second. 2 runners on. 1 out, 0-2 count for average infielder 5. You have Bonds on deck. Fly ball to right field. In for the out is the runners tagging. Runners tagging to third. First and third with 2 outs for Barry Bonds. 92 Bonds. Fly ball to deep right field. Oh my goodness, 92 Bonds. Goes yard. Bottom of the fourth. 92 Bonds on second for 92 Bonds at the plate. And another deep fly ball to left center field. And that's gone. All right, 2002 Bonds, top of the fifth. Average infielder up at bat. Fly ball to deep right center field. Average infielder off the wall. And with that, unless he gets doubled off a third, that should allow at least one of the Bonds to come to plate. Oh, no, but they get out of that inning. We're going all the way to the bottom of the seventh. 92 Bonds up with runners on first and third. It's the leadoff Bonds. Right center field, that's dropping in, and it gets past the outfielder. (10-1), top of the 10th. The 92 Bonds team is going to take it. What? Fly ball to deep right field. The 0-2 Bonds team does go yard, cuts the lead. Oh no, that's the 92 team. That was still the bottom of the eighth. They're up 12-1. This is going to end the game. 2 outs, 2-2 count. Strikeout, and the 92 team wins it in 6. Unbelievable. Holy cow. What is it about this 92 team? I thought for sure when I tripled up on the Bondses, it would take away the small sample size to let 92 do well. I mean, here's the thing. You look at this 92 Bonds, right? If you look at the ratings, his power's a 65. His eyes is 60. Right? So if you look at, let's go contact power eye. 55, 65, 60. Which is good. But then you look at 0-2 Bonds. And 0-2 Bonds is 55, 80, 80. How is it even close? I don't understand that at all. Contact's the same. Power's 15 higher. Eye is 15 higher. And you have this 3 times. So how is this even happening? So 55, 80, 80, right? If you look at the 04 team, or no, is it the 03 team? Well, this is interesting though. These players are coming in. When we did this afternoon, weren't they like, didn't some of them have 90 power? I mean, they're not getting nerfed again, right? I don't think they are because we turned that off. Yeah, we locked them in. Yeah, some had 90 power. I'm not seeing that anymore. Oh, 04, 03 Bonds. Oh, we can just look at the short list. Oh, I didn't. Did I not shortlist everybody? Okay, I didn't shortlist them this time. Okay, but the O4 bond's 75 power. O3 bond's 75 power. O2 bonds has 80 power. Okay, why does this one have different power than the others when they're supposed to be clones of each other? That's weird. Is development on for some reason? No, development's off. Why are they different? There's no reason they should be different. What is going on here? Why is this different from the other bonds? There's no reason that should be. That's really weird. Yeah, some had 90 power. I think O3, O2, O3, and O4 had 90 power this afternoon. So if you look at this profile, there's no way this should be able to compete with the others. You're right. They still hit more home runs. That's right. That's right. Anyway, I think that's really odd. I don't have an explanation for it either. Also, within the same team, there's no reason these should be different. These are supposed to be clones of the same player. That's really strange. Yeah, if we look at the standings, there's way more home runs hit. All right, let's go to the World Series trophy. Zoom to the next day here. Let's do the postseason awards. Very strange things happening here in this sim. Great gloves. Left field, Barry Bonds. Right field, Barry Bonds. Relief of the year. Come from a variety of teams, so no. I mean, 04 does show up twice. Platinum Stick Awards. Let me guess. Barry Bonds is going to win for left, right, and DH. Left, right, DH. Oh, let's see if that 1991 Bonds played in center field at all. This one did play 7 games in center field. This one played mostly in right field. This one played 22 games in center field. What? This one only played 78 8 games. This team had 3 Barry Bonds and only played one of them 70 some games. Oh, maybe it played DH the rest of the time? Yeah, one of them only started 86 games, only had 469 plate appearances. Do all the teams have that dynamic? No, this one started they all started over 140 games. This one they all started over 140 games. Same here. That's something weird with that 91 team, the way they're running the team. That's very strange. All right, no Rookie of the Year candidates on any of these teams. All right, Cy Young Award. This could be a hint that if a team shows up a lot in the Cy Young voting, they're probably one of the better offenses because their pitchers benefit from not facing their offense. 92 shows up in the top 2 and then in spot 5. Then MVP. The O2 Bonds is the MVP. 7 of the 8 first place votes. He hit 80 bombs and hit 366. All right, so we know the 92 team won the most games. What about team runs? The 02 team scored the most runs, even though the 92 team won more games. 02 and 01 scored more teams than 92. In fact, so did 04. I wonder, did the runs allowed actually get impacted by younger Bonds' defense? Look at this. 92 gave up 164 fewer runs than 02. O2 had a much better zone rating, although so did 03. So were the 93 or the 92 Bonds defenses that good? Okay, they had 9.2, 5.5, and 3.9 zone ratings. Yeah, the 2002 Bonds had negative 5.1, negative 5.1, negative 8.6. But could that account for over 150 run difference? Could the defense of the skinny Bonds make that big of a difference? Is it possible? There's a big run difference, runs allowed difference that I didn't even think about asking about. Right? So the two teams, 02 scores 42 more runs than 92. But 02 gives up 164 less runs. Wow, is the defense of the 90s teams that have that much of an impact? Look, the 93 team also scored gave up under 1,000 runs, And the 90 team gave up under 1,000 runs. Could Bonds playing left and right make that much difference? That is very interesting. Wow. That would help explain some of the discrepancy because the offensive rate, the offensive stats for those 2,000 Bondses are just so much crazier. All right, that's very interesting. Okay, so let's go back to the pack giveaway form. Generating a spreadsheet. All right. 3 of you in the competition. Good luck, everybody. All right, which team is going to have the most wins? No one guessed 92. All right, which is going to have the most runs? The most runs scored was by 2002. Only T. Davis gets 2002. So T. Davis, congratulations, first place. And then which one would score the fewest? Which one will win the fewest regular season games? Hey, T. Destroyer, welcome back in. Yeah, late to hate. I also was not anticipating that defense being so much better. Okay, which Bonds team had won the fewest regular season games? That was the 90 team. Only T. Davis gets 90, so we move on. Which Bonds team scored the fewest runs? The fewest runs scored was by the 90 team with 881. Again, only T. Davis got that one right. T. Davis just showing his dominance here. And then which Bonds team would win the World Series? 92. Again, 92. And no one, of course, guessed 92. All right, so now it's the numerical. So it's whoever gets the most right at this point. Whoever gets the most right. T. Davis already won. But so it's between the other two who gets the most right. Regular season wins by the regular season champion. That was 94 wins. Late to Hate got that one with 96. Yeah, T. Destroyer, both have been really fun, but they've been very confusing results. Usually when we get results, I can come up with a narrative that explains them. I'm having a hard time here. Home runs hit by the home run leader. That was 84 by one of the 2001 Bonds. 84. T. Davis would have been closest, but of the two remaining, Late to Hate is closest there. All right, regular season walks. Well, how did you all put the same answer? How did this happen? What is going on here? How did the 3 of you have the same walk total? What? How did that happen? How does that happen? Please explain. Please explain. How did that happen? If it was 169, I would understand. But how is it 152? Alright, I gotta find the, what is the actual number of walks? It is 146. You were all also super close. How did this happen? This is crazy. I agree. T Destroyer, this is the craziest of all the different guesses we've seen over all the different Sims. Yeah, if it was 152, I would think I'm in the Matrix somehow. I mean, is this a secret meme answer that I don't know the meme? What is 152? How is that happening? This is amazing. Okay, regular season RBI total. 175. 175. Flying WV making a little comeback here with 162. OT people were all the same. Okay, these batting averages also very close, but not identical. All right, batting average leader 397. That's right. One of the bonds is almost hit 400. T. Davis was the leader, but of the two remaining, that goes to Flying WV. We are at 3 apiece, everybody. Flying WV with 3, Late to Hate with 3. The highest OPS 1384. 1384. Again, T. Davis would have been the closest. But Flying WV, a little bit closer than Late to Hate. And it comes down to the war. The war was lower this time. And amazingly, Flying WV and Late to Hate both guessed 13.9. Alright, so that means Flying WV has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Late to Hate has 1, 2, 3, 4. So Flying WV takes it. All right, finally, you got to tell me where did you come up with 152 walks? Because you all had 152. You just added a few to your earlier guess. Okay. This is crazy. That was super entertaining, everybody. Thank you for your entertaining guesses. T. Davis for first place. And Flying WV, it came down to the wire. Flying WV and Late to Hate, but second place, Flying WV. You know, these Sims have been super fun, but I'm still no closer to knowing which Barry Bonds to choose because if you go by record, it's one team. It's 92. If you go by total runs scored, it's 0-2. If you go by run differential, it's probably 92 again because of that defense. If you go by OPS, you have an 0-2 and 0-3, two 0-1s and another 0-3. You can, I mean, it's a mixed bag. If you go by WAR, I mean, 0-3 has two of the top 3 OPSs, I guess. I don't know what the takeaway is here. Is it that it doesn't matter because they're all really good? I mean, the 92 one, it was shocking when I looked at the defensive numbers. That runs allowed was so different. Do we have to do this now with 1,620 games to see what happens? The craziness. It is real craziness. I mean, in the best way possible, but it's craziness. I still know which bonds I would pick now. I thought it would be very clear by the end of this. And what is up with the 1992 Barry Bonds? Seriously. You look at BREF, and I put the skinny Bonds in because, yeah, those are legit good seasons, but they don't look anything like the 2000s. But yet the 92 team has won twice now. How? I mean, I know that there's RNG, but does it hit the same team in the same way twice over a full season, over two full seasons? I mean, this time they even won the regular season. I mean, that O2 Bonds played some legit defense though. The stats were pretty compelling. They were almost twice as positive as the O2 Bonds were negative. So that's like a 3x swing on zone rating alone. But really, how many runs in games should that translate into? Should that translate into a regular season win like that? I'm surprised. I don't know what to make of all this. This has been a very confusing day of streaming for me. If anyone has theories, I'm open to hearing them. But um, for now, I think let me go see if no one else is streaming OTP. We might raid into Baffle, who's playing MLB The Show. Yeah, no one else is playing OOTP26. So I think let's go right into our good friend Baffle, who is an excellent member of the OOTP community. Um, Usually streams other sporting games, but is very involved in playing OOTP and involved in the chats. So we're gonna raid into Baffle99. If you're not here, let's give him a shout out first. If you're not already following Baffle99, highly recommend it. He puts on a really good stream, very entertaining. Usually has a very fun chat. Uh, is a variety streamer, mostly sports, but does occasionally play games like Fortnite. But does college football. I think has started streaming OTP, but mostly as an OTP player. He's in a lot of the chats. You'll see him in tournaments. Um, but yeah, really great guy, really great streamer. Was giving away a couple of our 3 copies of the game the other day, and definitely worth following. Check him out. Thank you all for being here. Late to Hate, thank you for being here. You don't have to thank me. I should be thanking you for being here. Sorry you didn't win packs today, Late for Hate. You had some really good guesses. It really came down to the wire on that one. But I appreciate you all being here and playing my silly games, watching my silly experiments, and we'll take you over into Baffle 99. I'll be on again tomorrow night if you want to come hang out.